float too. You'll float too. You'll float too. You'll float too.
We just got the HBO Welcome to Derry teaser, and honestly, it's giving me hope that the prequel will really do Stephen King's work justice. Director Andy Muschietti adapted Stephen King's It into a two-part movie series, with the first film in 2017 becoming a huge box office hit. It had a $35 to $40 million budget, but made $701.8 million. Critics loved it too, but while the 2019 sequel, It Chapter 2, did well at the box office, $473.1 million on a $79 million budget, it didn't quite get the same level of praise. Now It, Welcome to Derry is here to expand on Pennywise's world. Set before the Losers Club even existed, this prequel digs into the town's dark history. Even though Bill Skarsgård initially said he wouldn't return, it was confirmed in June 2024 that his Pennywise will be back. That's a big relief, since without the Losers Club, the show needed a familiar face. But now, with the pressure from another horror reboot, It, Welcome to Derry's success matters more than ever. Stephen King's It is still one of the most iconic horror novels ever, but the new spin-off series Welcome to Derry has some big shoes to fill. King's work has been adapted for TV and film countless times, thanks to his massive collection of novels and short stories. But not every adaptation has been a success, and quite a few have missed the mark over the years. When King's stories are completely reimagined, like The Lawnmower Man or the recent Pet Sematary Bloodlines, it often goes off course, which is why I've been a bit skeptical about what to expect from the Welcome to Derry prequel. But then you have movies like The Shining that, while not sticking exactly to the source material, still capture the spirit of the original and end up being successful. After seeing the sizzle reel for Max's upcoming releases, Welcome to Derry seems to have that same vibe as It, which gives me hope. HBO's Welcome to Derry looks like it could be a solid prequel to It. The original story is a horror classic, with its creepy villain and unsettling atmosphere that stays with you throughout. This holds true for both the movies and King's novel. There's a mix of gore and disturbing visuals, often from eerie expressions, that really set the tone. But beyond Pennywise, the clown that haunts the town, Derry itself has a dark vibe, filled with violence, anger, and hatred, which keeps the locals constantly on edge. The movie did a great job showing how Derry is far from a pleasant place to live, with its opening scenes highlighting how the town brings out the worst in people. Luckily, from the short preview in Max's sizzle reel, it seems like the show is going to nail that balance and capture those important details. Welcome to Derry looks like it has the potential to be just as creepy and terrifying as the original, and I'm starting to get excited about what's coming. The Welcome to Derry teaser actually has me feeling good about the show, even with some concerns. Sure, there are things that make me question how successful or true to the source it'll be, but the teaser gives off a solid vibe. Even though it's heading in a new direction without directly pulling from King's work, it seems to get the original novel's spirit and is trying something fresh. So, despite Stephen King not being directly involved, I still think the show could turn out well. The video presents a quiet town with a group of young friends, quickly shifting to blood-soaked locals and a woman with a chilling, crooked smile. While it may not be identical to It, the vibe is definitely there. With writers like Andy and Barbara Muschietti, who genuinely respect the original material, working on it, Welcome to Derry looks set to offer something new to an old story. I think that's a win not just for the franchise, but also for horror fans beyond just Stephen King enthusiasts. Trust me, the success of It, Welcome to Derry just got a lot more important now that A24's Friday the 13th reboot, Crystal Lake, will be impacted by the prequel. It, Welcome to Derry showrunner Brad Caleb Kane is now taking over A24's Friday the 13th prequel series, Crystal Lake, after Brian Fuller left the project earlier in 2024. This news is exciting since Kane has already brought a massive horror franchise to the small screen with Welcome to Derry. The catch? We haven't seen the It prequel yet. If it ends up being a flop, the hype for Crystal Lake could fizzle out too, which would be a bigger issue for Friday the 13th. The franchise has been off the radar for 15 years, with Jason Voorhees last seen in the 2009 remake. Unlike Pennywise, who had two big hits recently, Friday the 13th hasn't been in the spotlight. Plus, It is a more recent franchise, first published in 1986, compared to Friday the 13th, which kicked off in 1980 and became one of the most iconic slasher series. The reception of It: Welcome to Derry is going to have a big impact on the Friday the 13th prequel, Crystal Lake. The Friday the 13th franchise already has 12 movies, a TV show, and tons of comics, novels, fan content, and video games, so there's a lot riding on this revival. Since both Welcome to Derry and Crystal Lake are prequels to iconic 80s teen horror franchises, focusing on groups of teens facing an unstoppable evil in supernatural rural settings, they're bound to be compared. If Welcome to Derry flops, it could kill the hype for Crystal Lake, which has already had its share of problems. Crystal Lake finally started pre-production in 2022 after legal battles over the franchise, and Bryan Fuller left the project in 2024, revealing his ambitious plans before departing. So, a misstep from It could really affect Crystal Lake's momentum. Friday the 13th's prequel series already lost a top-notch showrunner in Bryan Fuller. His plans for Crystal Lake sounded super ambitious and unique, with director Vincenzo Natali even comparing it to a Hannibal-level reinvention of the franchise. There were reports of an episode written by Scream's Kevin Williamson set on a frozen Crystal Lake, and Charlize Theron was being considered for the role of Jason's mom, Pamela Voorhees. It almost seemed too good to be true. However, Brad Caleb Kane, who's taking over, might still deliver something just as impressive. As the showrunner for Welcome to Derry, he could have a killer plan for Crystal Lake too. But everything now depends on how well Welcome to Derry is received. If it does well, it could prove Kane can pull off another big horror reboot, but it'll be a tough challenge. Right now, Welcome to Derry looks promising, especially since it dives into world building within the It universe, going beyond just the Losers Club. Stephen King's story universes are often interconnected, and this show could be the perfect chance to explore more about its universe in particular. For example, the show could bring in Maturin, a being from the Macroverse also known as the Turtle, who helps the Losers Club figure out how to defeat Pennywise in the book. While the Turtle didn't make it into the It movies, Welcome to Derry could include it more prominently and even explain why it's not around by the time the events of the It unfold. Pennywise and the Turtle represent cosmic beings that give King's work its unique flavor, and exploring their dynamic would be fascinating for the show. The Losers Club is iconic, but it's time to move beyond them and meet new characters who also face off against Pennywise. King's novel starts with a case of child abuse in 1957 that wakes Pennywise from his slumber, and Welcome to Derry could use a similar setup to kick off the series. Well, that's it. Please share your views and opinions in the comment section with us. Subscribe to the channel to get updated regularly with the latest update. Thanks for watching the video, and we'll see you at the next one.